Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Can you think of someone who makes you feel that if this person didn't exist in your life, you would have achieved your goals and your dreams? That if this person changed, your life would be better, or maybe even feel that you won't be irritated and frustrated anymore, and that your lack of success, love, happiness, and peace is because of the way this person is. I'm Anita Watwani, a wellness coach and a speaker, and every week I share tips on how to follow your love, joy, and peace. I'm a speaker and a full time coach helping people to achieve their dreams. As you know, the last week I shared some tips on how to emotionally align ourselves when we want to deal with a difficult person. And as I promised, this week I'm bringing you the communication skills that you might need while communicating with difficult people. So, first of all, your vibration speaks louder than your words. So, if you haven't watched my previous video, 3 ways to use emotional intelligence to deal with difficult people, I will suggest you watch that video as well. Once you have settled your emotions, communication becomes crystal clear. We need to settle our emotions to be able to communicate with clarity with others. Research shows that what we communicate verbally is only 7% of communication. Our body language, tone of voice, and vibrations have a bigger impact on the conversation. So, before going into a difficult conversation, it is very important to take care of our emotions because you might be saying something very kind in words, but if you are not emotionally aligned with it, your body language and vibration will give away the reality. Have you ever realized that someone is saying the nicest of things to you, and when you hear it verbally, it feels nice, but you have a feeling that something is off, like it doesn't touch your heart? It happens because they are feeling one way and saying something else. The verbal communication is not in sync with what the person is feeling. It is very obvious most of the times. We are more feeling beings than we are ready to accept in life. We are guided by our feelings and emotions. So let's start. 6 communication skills that will help you successfully dealing with difficult people. Number 1, say what you thought, not what they did. I feel insecure when you look at other women and comment on them because it makes me think that I am not enough. There are 3 parts to the statement: 1, I feel; 2, when; and 3, because, which is a great way to communicate without accusing the other person and making them feel guilty. At the same time, you are taking responsibility for how you feel. So the first part of the sentence is I feel, followed by a feeling. Name the emotion that you felt. Take responsibility for your feeling. The second part is when, followed by what happened or the behavior. And the third part is because, explaining the leading consequence of the feeling. So, like I use the sentence, I feel insecure, that's the emotion. When you look at other women and comment on them, that's the second part of the sentence. And because it makes me think I'm not enough. But if you want to go the extra mile, you could add the I appreciate sentence to that last. I'd appreciate if you would be discreet when I'm around. So, remembering to take responsibility of our feelings and using the three-part statement so that the other person doesn't go in a defensive mode and is open to talk to you about the subject and understands why you are reacting the way you are reacting. Number two, saying three things that you appreciate about the person before saying one thing that bothers you about them. This practice reminds us that not everything the person does or says is wrong. There is a part of them that is kind and caring. You're not against their whole personality, just a part of it is creating uneasiness. Number three, being assertive instead of being aggressive. Keep your calm and say what you want with a firm tone of voice. Don't argue your point of view or why you are asking it from them. And also, don't expect the person to understand your point of view. Internally, knowing you are making a request and it is up to them to accept it or no. We can't change people's behavior, we can only ask. My elder son, when he was a little boy, once came back from school and told me that one of his classmates was hitting him in this class. As parents, we knew we didn't want our child to be violent, and I wanted him to know to defend himself in the moment. So I told him, the next time someone tries to hit you, hold their hand and tell them firmly that you can't treat me this way. Number four, be curious instead of being furious. Always go deeper in a conversation with someone. Don't take things for granted. If a person says you are just like your mother, ask in what way they think instead of getting upset and assuming what they mean. You might see it as a strength, and that could change everything. Don't be furious. Instead, be curious. Ask questions. Questions help us to know better why the person is upset and what they are wanting or trying to say. It helps us to understand the other person better. Number five, convey your intention before you start a difficult conversation. Letting the other know what you are wanting from the conversation. Don't patch up things later. Usually, when we say things and then we see the person is upset, we tell them that we are doing it for their good and that we love them. That's why we are doing what we are doing, or that's why we are saying what we are saying. So basically, we have poured out all our conflict energy on them, and then we are putting a band aid on the hurt by saying, I love you, that's why I am saying or doing what I'm doing. When we first say, because I love you, we are setting our own energy in love before we say or do anything. Number six, knowing no conversation is a waste of time, especially if it is a person you care about. All conversations and communication is to understand each other. It is the best way to make relationships. So give as much time needed to listen. When someone is saying something, listen calmly. Even if they don't use the I feel statements, they are using statements that can make you go into defense mode. Maybe they don't follow any of the communication skills needed. Understand that they have no idea how to communicate, but they are still trying to make themselves be understood. They are trying to communicate something. Listening is a big part of any communication. When you hear out people completely without interrupting them, they feel heard and don't feel the need to shout or misbehave. One important tip that is not a communication skill but is an important non-verbal communication is sitting next to the person instead of sitting opposite. When we sit opposite, it gives the feeling of confrontation. When we sit next to them, it makes the person feel we are on the same side. An important point which I would like to share with you is stop feeding their bad behavior. Many times people misbehave to get you to do something otherwise you would never do. Diffuse it by having a meaningful conversation and use all your communication skills to listen, convey, and say what you would like to say. So, today I shared with you the 6 steps to successfully dealing with difficult people. Number one, the 3 part statement: I feel, when, because. Number two, saying 3 things you appreciate before saying one thing that makes you uneasy. Number three, being assertive, not aggressive. Number four, being curious instead of furious. Number five, conveying the intention first. Number six, listening calmly and letting the other person finish without interrupting. I'm sure this video has given you the easy but effective communication skills to handle all kinds of difficult people. I invite you to subscribe, share, and like my channel for more videos on how to follow your love, happiness, and peace.